Hey everybody, hope you're doing good today. I'm going to jump right into it, opening the door, welcoming the universe to share a message with all of us that's going to rock our worlds in some way. Sometimes the messages are really cheerful and sometimes they're kind of heavy and deep. So whatever the most essential message would be, what is that message? We want to know what that message is. I want to know what that message is. Maybe you also want to know what that message is. All right, I'm going to relax now and close my eyes like I always do. I'm starting with some common ground here. We're making a point to find our feet, making a point to stand on the ground, making a point to be in our bodies and a part of this planet Earth today. And sometimes you got to make it a conscious choice because you don't realize that you're floating away from your body, that you got to get back into this life. You got to get back into this experience. Don't run away from it. It's interesting because we go through pain and suffering here, and we definitely feel it. So if I could run away from that pain and suffering, sure. And what's interesting is the soul is popped out of the body at times. So how does that work exactly? It's a very good question. And sometimes the soul will be in the earth, like buried in its own grave. And sometimes the soul will be out of the body, like popped out of the head, just trying to go somewhere else, try to get away from this. All the while you're having to actually experience what you're going through. So you might as well have all hands on deck here. So your soul is present with your physical body, with the events that are going on in your life, with the very ground of this planet, with this life that is your very gift. Because it is your life, it's your gift, your life. Your life is a gift. It's a gift to be here. It's a gift to be alive right now. It's a gift. All right, so I'm being introduced to an experience, okay? The experience feels like a really thick wall that blocks the heart, where the heart wants to find the confidence to just express itself. And well, this wall is here, which then creates a shield. So if the heart expresses itself and then what's outside, throws a rotten tomatoes, well, the wall is here to shield. Well, you can't live with walls. Otherwise, you live in a box. And so you got to take the walls down and you got to expose yourself and be 100% vulnerable to what's outside yourself. That then is going to impact you when you choose to be yourself. What then is going to impact you? It might just be love and gratitude that impacts you. It might be a new opportunity that you could have shielded yourself from, but it took being vulnerable, being open, feeling defeated, but still getting out there and trying to be confident that you made something happen. That you can't live inside of a box, not if you want to grow, not if you want to live in this world. So if you're watching this video, here you are, you're present, you're listening. And so I'm here, okay? Because I too have to be reminded, okay, here, I'm in this body. Let's embrace this discomfort. Let's really feel it. Let's not just go through the motions, get through this, run as fast as we can, get it done. Now let's live in the minutes, okay? Let's live in this moment. Let's just be ourselves as best as we can. Even if we're our worst judge or critic, we got to be ourselves. And so the wall then can come down and the heart then can open because all you can be is yourself. And that truly is good enough, you know. That's somewhere to start. That's somewhere to start with you. That's somewhere to start in this life. Today. So the next thing I'm shown, again, an experience where there is uncertainty. And I'm asked to go into the very wall that I'm picking up on and explore a little bit more what this wall is all about. It seems to be when I go in the wall, I'm taken to another space, and there's a lot of people walking around, and they're particularly wearing white t shirts, and they're painted red and blue. So there's red, white, and blue. I see people actually have face paint on and then glitter also. So some people sparkle, and they have these signs that they're holding, and they've got a message. And some of these people seem to be walking around in circles, just walking like there's a current of people, and this current of people is just walking around in a circle, just like this, and then holding this sign and holding the sign and holding the sign and walking around in a circle and holding the sign and holding the sign and holding the sign. There's a huge mass of people that aren't walking and they have no signs, and they're just standing there and they're wearing whatever their day-to-day outfit is. There's just lots of people, like 100,000 bodies, shoulder to shoulder, just standing there. But then we have these people that have red, white, and blue, and the sparkles and their signs and going around in a circle. And that's somehow this wall I'm picking up on. What is that? What does that mean? What's the deeper meaning behind it? It's very hard to get into other people's shoes, especially when you don't want to. And I have to get into the shoes of every persona that's here. And that aggravates me because me says, "Oh, I don't have time for this. I don't want to. Just tell me what the answer is so we can move forward." But this part of the message is saying, this is the message, okay? Is saying that it's important to slow down and take the time. It is more important than anything else that you have on the agenda, is to take the time to do something that goes against the grains, because it's a heart-centered step. And is it really going to take that much time? It's going to help you access the deeper meaning. It seems to me that we're sitting with some major unresolved emotional buildup here around the heart. And getting in the shoes of these different personas might also be getting into the shoes of yourself, because yourself has different ways that it is seen, experiences in your own life, right? So life gets built up within us. Okay, memory gets built up within us. We're built upon what we've done or what we didn't do, and how that makes us feel. We're built up on stress and trauma and all this. We're built up upon hope and despair, and we're built out of all this material. Okay. And then this material kind of encourages to animate ourselves, like it puppeteers us. So if you're not conscious, if you're not animating your own body, then what is animating your body? What is puppeteering you? What is telling you we don't have the time? I don't want to take the time to really get in the shoes of these other people, or really get into the shoes of myself. What really hurts the most about what I'm looking at, or what I don't want to look at? What my soul is trying to run away from today, or bury myself in the ground because I just don't want to deal with it, like an ostrich head, just buried in the sand, just blocking it out. You need to face this stuff, face your emotions, face what you don't want to look at, face what aggravates you. All right, so I'm going to be the people, okay, walking in circles. It's a terrible sensation. I feel like if I could just scrape all the chalk, take chalk and just scrape the dust until there's no chalk left, and then I just have this big pile of dust. And then I could just take that dust and just like put it in my mouth, and I'll just keep like a vacuum sucking the dust into my throat, in particular into my throat. And then I'm going to gag on all this dust in my throat. and I'm going to cough and I'm going to choke. And I'm going to try to swallow it down. I'm going to keep swallowing it down. And when it gets dry and when it gets uncomfortable, well, what else am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do now? And there's something very chalky about this energy, what it represents. You would expect it to represent something political. Why not? Red, white, and blue. And they obviously have a message. Who are they talking to? They're a movement of sorts. They're a movement that goes around and around in a circle. They're trying to get your attention. They want you to hear what they have to say. What they have to say is important. They came down here in their outfits, put the glitter on, put the words on these poster boards, came out and to make this statement. But what's strange about it is that everything your mind would translate, logically translate, this is about. That beneath the surface of what this is about is just eating chalk dust and choking on it. I'm also seeing another image, and this is very difficult, but I see a child, and this child has got the American flag, and they have tears like syrup, and the syrupy tears are made of blood, but it leaves this strange trail on their cheeks. That's what it does. And it seems like all time is standing still except for this flag, which is blowing in the wind ever so slightly. I feel like I'm supposed to be at like a 4th of July parade, but I can't hear the sounds. I can't hear the celebration. There's hearts that are sick. I'm starting to smell rot and decay. There's even what is heavy apples in the tree, and the apples turn into heavy hearts, and the heavy hearts just start to fall. And I start to hear the slamming of bodies, like jumping off of buildings. There's like slamming of bodies splat on the ground, like really heavy, saturated, almost sponge-like apples just plop, splat, blood splattering. Okay, what's interesting here is what in the world is this message? What in the world is this message? Is this message about the world today? Is this message about the upcoming future? How are we to interpret or relate to this in some logical format? Because we need things to make sense. Sometimes the message is creative, and so you're going to have to just swallow it down and explore what it means to you in some other level. Like when you're healing emotions, you heal emotions almost abstractly so. This is abstract emotional healing, but there's a lot of conflict. A lot of conflict. All right, so let me go and be this huge, like 100,000 just regular people standing there doing nothing but standing there. They're robots. They're just made out of electrical wire. They're glitching out because it seems to me that they got damaged from the inside, and it's water damage on the electrical circuits. Because I'm shown individuals that actually is a knife that comes and chops just like straight down, and then it cuts it straight forward, and it removes this frontal lobe basically, and it's all this electrical circuitry in there, and it's all glitching out. And I can taste water, water spilt onto the electricity, and it's just glitching out. And these are all just machines. They're just all people that are like robotically programmed people. And I'm to put the frontal lobes back, and I'm to let the machines go where they go and do what they do. And what's so strange is I see cameras inside of people's eyes, and that people's eyes are looking. They're looking and they're looking and they're looking, and they're not really looking because they're thinking. They're just looking because they're used in order to see, like cameras are used in order to see. And then the information goes through the eyes and back into the program, so the program can interpret what it sees. And it is interpreting people. It's interpreting this round and round we go with this conversation here. It's interpreting circumstance. So why now is this layer of the conversation about the wall that we need to take down and stop shielding ourselves When I go into that wall, I have this conversation. Okay, so beneath the surface of the wall that is blocking our hearts from each other, the wall, the physical wall that we can logically see is there, or the invisible wall that we put there without even realizing it at times because we're trying to protect our heart, we're trying to protect our sanity on some level, trying not to get too damaged along the way. But really, you're just afraid to be yourself because the damage was done. But you got to come out of hiding, you got to come out of the ground and come back into your body, and you got to face this. You got to feel all of this. You got to feel all of it. And you have to be present. So I've sent out the question here about what about this wall here and what I found within this wall. But I feel guided to go back to where these people are standing and becoming part of these people and seeing what's beneath the surface of that. So we have even more abstract information or logical information. It's information, okay? It's information, but information has a pattern. And the pattern is discomfort or ease, peace or hell. Like, so the pattern expresses itself perfectly, just as it is. And so the pattern is honest. So these are the honest patterns. Okay. And so I need to go back in here and then become part of all of the people that are here as just one person. I see that when I put all these humans together and what divides them, that I bring them together. I see one human being who is just sitting on like a concrete step. And they're just having a hard time in their mind. They're just trying to get through the motions of the day, like getting dressed, find their keys, get to the car, get going. But their mind is just not, it's like their mind requires time, it requires repair, but there's no time to repair the mind. There's no time. There's no time. Hurry. And then I time out this one person and I say, hey, you're missing someone. And I show them the child with the syrup blood tears. And then this person says, oh, she can wait. She can wait. She can wait. And then I swap places. So the child now is the one that is heading to their car, and the one that conveniently says, oh, that little girl, she can wait. Now she's the one that's waiting. No, you will wait. Because the child's tired of waiting. No, you will wait. And then you will stand there and you will get yourself together. And now the child will move forward. Because we're going to have to reverse the mirror here. We have to reverse the mirror. We have to take the time. We have to take the time. And we have to take the time to repair. We have to take the time to step into each other's shoes. We have to take the time to be a part of our own emotional state, a part of our body, a part of this life. We have to take the time to remember it's our sacred life. And it's a blessing to have it, that you actually do have something you want in life, and it is your life. You see what I'm saying here? That the thing that you want in life is your life. That's why you have it. You want your life. That's why you have it. The child says, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And I say, no, stop pretending you're a child that doesn't know anything. You're not a child, and you do know what you're doing, and you do know where you're going. You are a pretender. You want me to pity you. You want me to see something cruel is happening here, but nothing is happening but what you're creating for yourself. That's very clear in the patterns, that this child is wearing a disguise and they're pretending. And pretenders are liars, and liars are not good people. You could say, well, are they bad people? They're bad people. Because if you can conveniently lie, then you are creating an illusion. And you are then protecting your heart or protecting yourself. You need to be in the thick and the raw of what is so ugly about the truth, that it actually heals things. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if nobody loves you anymore, the truth is still more important. And is it really that you needed that love, or you just needed the love of yourself? Do you understand what I'm saying? I just look at this little girl for a long time, and I know she's not a little girl, she's a liar. She's taking on a convenient persona. She's lying. This could be this could be any mature adult right now that needs to be pitied, that needs to take where nothing really should have been given because they did nothing to earn it, but harm other people and live in a state of lies and hurt people, hurt more than the people close to them, hurt the world, because there's a domino effect that happens here. I'm asking my higher self, I'm asking God, I'm asking the universe. This child doesn't want to be anything else. They just want to be a child, and they want to continue to relentlessly insist that they really are the way that they are. So now, how do I approach this scenario? Because I can speak the truth. I can encourage them to speak the truth. I can deny them my time and attention, but they're still relentlessly holding on to the same. And the world isn't just made out of me, it's made out of everybody. And it might not be for me to make that kind of difference. Maybe it's for us to just carry the weight of lies, a world of lies, and just let the lies just keep happening and just continue to carry the weight, because there's some people that want to just keep lying and keep demanding they be pitied. All of this is part of the wall. Is it my wall? Is it your wall? Is it a collective wall? Is it an event that's happening? That is in politics, that is in society. What community do you live in the world? It is also within you. It's within yourself. It's in your relationship with yourself too. Because everything is a reflective mirror, and the reflective mirror has a domino effect, and it reaches everyone. All souls will know you, as you will know all souls. Nobody gets to hide from the truth. So I'm just told that I've said what I need to say about the wall and what's beneath the surface. They do slightly ask. It's almost like this little, like, recall of the chalk in the throats, that wanting me to explore that a little bit further. I say some things you can't really swallow down. They're not really a swallowable material, and you choke on it. And it could have something to do with words, language, because we're talking about chalk and the writing on the wall. But if there's no more chalk, then there's no more writing on the wall. And if the chalk's been reduced to the very dust now that we're choking on our words, you see? And who's listening? It just seems like the world is ill and is tired. Is the energy, it's almost like the time put in, and then to reap the reward of that time and energy. There's a lot of energy going into a lot of different avenues here, okay? And so we will reap what we sow, okay? If what we are reaping what we sow, and we're sowing lies, okay, we will reap from that energy. And what are we going to gain from manipulation? What are we going to gain from it? So the farmer wakes up in the morning, whether they like it or not. They get up and they get dressed and they get out there and they do their job, right? And they work really hard and they create something good for themselves, for their family, for the world, okay? The farmer does this, and they have their good days and their bad days. But the energy that's put in then they will reap what they sow, right? And sometimes the weather doesn't, it's not on your side, there's drought. What are you going to do now? And so the rest of the world picks up the slack, right? To help farmers who have endured drought, and now they just don't have the crops, they don't have the means to survive financially because, whatever reason. So you're trying to put the pieces of this puzzle together. This is just a simple example, okay? A simple, very simple example of time and effort put in for the well-being of the whole, okay? There's a well-being of the whole happening here, and then the well-being of the whole can give back to each other in some way, because that's how a society works. It's why we have a government, to try to empower the lives of the people of the country, to make everybody's life better, smarter, stronger, healthier families, stronger technology for better production or whatever, So if a lot of time and energy is getting put over here and here and here and here and here and here and here, and it's getting put into, it's like planting seeds that have no, they're like ghosts, they're like illusions, seeds of illusions. They're building up illusions. They're building up more billboards of illusions. And people are going to get more tired. They're going to be stretched thin financially, mentally, emotionally, be stretched thin. And what the value is, what they even mean in society, people are going to be stretched thin. And there's going to be more ridicule and more reason to protest. And there's more. And it's just like all this stuff has to get reconciled. All of this has to get reconciled. And so is it for you to reconcile all of this, the whole world? But what can you do today to be your very best self in this whole world? Where you put your best foot forward, that you owned it, you came and you embraced this life, right? And you got up and you gave it your best shot today. And you sat with the discomfort. You took the time to understand where other people are coming from, whether they took the time to understand you. You ask yourself, how honest can I be today? Let's strive to be that honest. What am I losing by being honest? Nothing. I've gained a better relationship with myself in this precious, precious life, which is the one thing I have. If I have nothing, I do have something still, because I have life, right? And so this is a message that is breaking this wall down and helping you to have the confidence to live in your body and open your heart and be the best person you can, despite everything that's happening in the world. You're part of the world too. And your soul is seen, okay? Completely seen. So that's the message. I just knew I had to sit down and I had to say something, and I didn't know what it was going to be. So I just like, okay, universe, something like this. Now you take it from here. And then voila, this is what happens. Hope you found some value in this message. If I can help you in a session one-to-one, one-on-one. Sorry, I'm a little disoriented getting back to my body. If I can help you in a session, one-on-one, energy healing, psychic wisdom, that sort of thing. I can help you with any questions, any goals. Abbey normalswisdomquest.com is where you can book that session. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.